Okay, my next question is to Anubhi and Nitish both, and you can share your individual experiences given that you are chartered accountant. So, what are some of the tips to clear CA foundation? I know we need to get coaching done, so obviously that is why we are here with EduLite. But then, apart from coaching, what is basis your experience? What do you think are some of the tips and tricks to clear foundation in the first attempt? Anubi, first I'll ask you this question.
So, as per my experience, I just like to tell that first of all, you just have to prepare a time frame. You have to divide your subjects, that how much time you have to give for a particular subject. That in your subjects that you have stronger knowledge about, that you are confident about, just try to first finish up that, then touch for the difficult one. Because if you first touch the difficult one, then in that case you will be wasting your lot of time, and there will be a less time for your other subjects. So it's better, whatever subject, in which subject, whichever subject you have your strong knowledge, you are confident about, you just first finish it up and then look after the other subject. And during the exam also it's like that. I would like to suggest, first read your exam paper clearly, and just make a note while reading the question itself. Just make a note of important points or highlight the important points of the question itself. Because during the exam you don't have that much time that again and again you will be reading the question and just knowing what is the important, what is the what I have to do in this. So first, while reading itself, just highlight the important part of the question, that the tricky one, that next time when you will be solving that question, so you have the basic idea, yeah, this is the important point, I have to look after this. Otherwise what happens, you get just totally lost up in your exam papers, like that you think, oh god, it's not able to, I'll not able to solve, what is that. So it's better, while at the time of reading itself, just highlight the important points and try to solve the question papers that you are confident in, that you think that I know this question very well. Try to solve those questions first. Don't try to attempt the difficult one first, because it will waste your time. So better you solve your the questions that you know well, solve those questions, and then after that attempt for the difficult one. So that even if you are not able to solve them completely, but if you have such, if I like to tell you about the accounts subject, so you will be getting marks for your steps also. So it's better you first approach towards the easier one, because there are chances of scoring full marks in that particular question. Then attempt the difficult one, and even if don't panic if you're not able to solve that question. Just leave it, because you will be getting marks for your steps also. It's not like that. So I think, and as per my experience, I would like to tell you that don't panic at the time of exam, because generally what happens, the student generally becomes, as I told you, let me tell you about the foundation one, because this is your entry exam. So students, there is a panic among the students, oh god, what happened, I will be clearing or not. It's like that. Don't hesitate and try to be confident enough. And one advice, personal advice, I would like to tell you, कि after giving your exam, don't communicate, don't interact with your friends after coming from the exam hall. You know what happens? If you are given the right answer and your friend is saying, no, no, this is not the answer. So it will be like, you will be like, oh God, my answer is wrong. तो आपके माइंड में क्या होगा, एट सच ऑफ आपका जो सेकंड पेपर है वो बिगड़ सकता है. So it's better don't interact with anybody after coming out from the exam hall. Just straight away go to your home. Don't interact. Okay? So
Thank,
that's I just want to tell.
thank you, Anubi. Nitish, your experiences, any quick tips and tricks?
Yeah, so particularly I believe since there are 4 papers in foundation level, so you need to first analyze what are your strong points and what are your weak points. Now let's say, see, there is one paper of accounts, there is one paper of mathematics and logical reasoning, there is a subjective paper of law and English and the economics part. So someone has a strong hold on mathematics and accounts, while the language part is weak. So first you need to analyze your, the strong and the weak points. So then, the timetable part comes. The weak points you have to focus more, because as a whole, if you see the total weightage is of 400 marks, out of which you have to score 200, and in individual papers you have to score 40 marks. So anyhow, there is no option to score less in one or high in another paper. So you need to score 40 in each. So particularly you need to focus on every subject to get pass in the CA foundation. Now, coming on to, like theoretical part, you need to practice more the subjective papers, whereas on objective papers you need more conceptual clarity, like the in the paper of economics. While coming on to mathematics paper, you can find out your own short tricks to complete the paper in a early time, because otherwise the paper becomes lengthy to complete. And finally, the exam days are very crucial. You don't need to panic on those days. And one last important thing which I would like to say, in subjective papers, you need to focus more on presentation, particularly the accounts, how you are writing the answer. Because you see, this is not any academic course, this is a professional course. So where you're not only your knowledge matters, but how you are presenting that knowledge, that also matters. So you need to focus on how you need to present your answer in the subjective exam.
Okay, so thank you Nitish for sharing that. So I'll just quickly add a few things here. So सबसे पहले CA is passing CA is no rocket science. So अगर किसी को लग रहा है कि I have to become a scientist, so becoming a scientist or an engineer is much more difficult as compared to becoming a chartered accountant. That's the first thing. Second, to whatever Anubi and Nitish mentioned, I would also mention another point, which is ensure that your time management is in such a manner that you're able to attempt a 100-mark paper. राइट सो डोंट लीव एनीथिंग टू लक बाय चांस कि मैंने 90 किया बट मैंने उसमें 60 बहुत अच्छे से किया. डोंट लीव इट टू लक बाय चांस, बिकॉज जब लक नहीं चलता तो देन प्रॉब्लम होता है. सो वील हैव टू इंश्योर दैट वी मैनेज टाइम and we complete a 100-mark paper, either descriptive or objective. And the second and the most important element in your entire CA journey, apart from, I know Anubi ने थोड़ा सा बीच बीच में डराया है with negative marking and other elements, and Nitish ने भी थोड़ा सा डराने की कोशिश करी है, but then I'll kind of bust that myth. What is more important in CA is your conceptual clarity. So you don't have to solve tons and tons of questions on one particular subject. की कई बार क्या होता है students के साथ, that once they get comfortable with a topic, they'll keep practicing questions for that topic, because what is happening is they're getting the right answers and confidence is increasing. So what we don't want is for you to solve tons and tons of questions, but what we definitely want is you to get conceptual clarity. So when you join coaching, when you get into classes for foundation or for inter, ask as many questions as you want. Try and understand, if this was not the scenario, if there is something else, if there is some other condition applicable, what would happen. So the more you interact with the faculties, the more questions you ask, the more clarity you will get, and the easier your journey will become. Yeah.